that way. The next one, and I had to deal with this as well. This has negatively impacted me. And I talked about this yesterday. Low-fat diets are healthy. That was the big push. Fat is bad. And it's this skinny lie that made us fat. And I used the story yesterday when I was overweight as a kid because, you know, I was eating 3 square meals a day and I was eating, you know, breakfast cereal as the most important meal of the day. Well, you do that, guess what? You're going to be overweight. So then we go to a nutritionist. My parents take me to a nutritionist, and the nutritionist says, you have to have a low-fat diet. And here, go get these Snackwell cookies. That literally pointed me to the cookie section. So I already got fat because I'm eating the cereal that they pushed on me. And the solution to this is that I can't eat fat. I need to go eat cookies. I'm not even making this up. This was a registered nutritionist, you know, who worked with a doctor. I mean, and this isn't a unique case. This is the standard. This is how all this works. These nutritionists actually think that they're helping people. They don't know anything about nutrition. Doctors, as I had mentioned, I think on the first day, a doctor only goes through 22 hours of nutrition studies their entire medical school career. So these people, this is why when I said, you know, if they say, go ask your doctor about fasting, your doctor's never heard about fasting. Fasting isn't even in a curriculum. So you go to your doctor's like, I don't know, sounds risky to me. They have no information about this, but what they've been doing is peddling things like, you know, low-fat diet, for which, again, there's no scientific basis. And in fact, well, there is some manipulation and propaganda around it. There's this guy, Ancel Keys. Ancel Keys was involved with the American Heart Association. There's a great video. I should have put a link to it on here. I think Cato Institute actually has a video on YouTube. There are some resources on this talking about this guy, Ancel Keys. He basically manipulated the data around the link between fat and heart disease. And this is the entire basis of the low-fat narrative, the entire basis of eggs are bad, all because of one guy associated with the American Heart Association who intentionally manipulated the data. Was he held accountable? No. He was put on the front cover of Time magazine. So while they've made adjustments, kind of, like actually, I can't even say they've made adjustments. Don't follow any public health guidelines. The next diet, called the Lancet diet, suggests that you shouldn't eat red meat. It actually has added sugar in as something that you should have daily, which there is no, sugar is basically a poison. And so no one ever gets punished for this. And miraculously, when they come up with new health guidelines, they're actually worse. But the new health guidelines with the Lancet diet, here's the key with these guidelines. They don't even intend or state that they're prioritizing human health. It's part of the Agenda 2030. So when they're looking at developing nutritional policies, they're looking at the impact on the globe, the impact on the environment. So they're actually recommending insect protein. They're recommending a reduction to almost zero of red meat, and they're actually putting in added sugar. And they state that they're trying, that this is like a holistic Agenda 2030 thing. They're not even stating that they're trying to optimize your health. So if you thought, which I'm sure a lot of people did in the 90s, people that saw the food pyramid in a health textbook and saw all of this stuff, you probably thought that it was based on gold standard science and that the intent of the nutritional guidelines was to improve your health. It was never the intent. That has never been the motivation, which is why when I say boycott public health, literally boycott public health. They don't even have the intention of improving your health. The probability of you finding good information there is almost zero. So yeah, the low-fat market just absolutely ballooned. And so it's $91 billion by 2023. The American Heart Association got $300,000 a year for adding a healthy choice tick. This is the other thing. You can't trust any of the things that you see, and you definitely can't trust government food labeling either. They'll come up with a different way to say genetically modified. It's now bio something. They just changed the language because the language is being written by the ConAgra and Archer Daniels Midland. So the people that are actually, the government shouldn't be involved in food labeling at all. We have a whole debate right now where you have like this whole RFK regime is, well, we need informed consent. And informed consent comes from getting good information through government. There's no reason to think we're going to get good information through government. We need a consumer choice. I mean, we need a free market solution for this. But it turns out you have impediments for even trying to provide this kind of information as a private entity, because then it's not following USDA guidelines. So they actually prohibit and prevent and make it difficult for free market solutions for this, while absolutely putting forward propaganda and